Hey there, everyone. I'm looking for the camera again. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Mini Mayhem. I am Vee Mus'e, your host for this afternoon. Mini Mayhem is where we take a look at some of the fantastic products that are coming out for WizKids very soon. Everything you are seeing today is up for pre-order. So please, 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 we always encourage you, contact your FLGS. For those of you not familiar with that, that means friendly local game store. Let them know that you are very much interested in placing your pre-order for the very cool things I'm going to be showing you today. First of all, when I saw what I'm going to show today to you, me as a DM, I am giddy because a lot of these are fantastic fodder for encounters, and they're just some really classic D&D monsters and creatures and all that goodness. So yes, I am quite eager. And hello there, is it PL Stowe? I see the name in the chat, which brings me to the chat. If you have a question about things that you are seeing today, please be sure in the chat to type out question in caps and then have your question follow. It makes it a lot easier for me to be able to jump over and see the questions that are coming soon. Let me just adjust my other screen slightly so I can see a little bit better. There we go. So that is one of the things to make sure you do if you're watching and something comes to mind, you want to find out more about it. Also, while you're here, let's do the whole YouTube thing. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet by clicking that button. And while you're there, ring the bell too, because that'll give you notifications as to when we're going live with different streams, because we also have Much Ado About Gaming on Tuesday afternoons, as well as any of our videos, especially those that come from Scott Porter for our HeroClix line. So I think, I'm just gonna adjust the music slightly. I think that kind of takes care of the beginning of everything like that. And hello, Keith Fisher. And I think that takes care of all of the basics, go-tos, and what do you say we get started? So today, I'm going to be unboxing the very much anticipated D&D Icons of the Realms Fangs and Talons sets. Now, these are scheduled to come out November 11th. Again, available for pre-order. Hello from the UK. Hi, Ed. How are you? I'm waving at the chat. Hi, Ed. Let's get that one going. So these are available for pre-order. Contact your local game store. If a local game store is not an option for you, we completely understand. With everything that's going on out there, is the best way to describe it. You now have a few options. You can check things out online at shop.wizkids.com. You can also check out dndmini.com, which is a store that has all things D&D related from WizKids. I highly recommend you get the look, because right now, if you go and you purchase 100 or more from dndmini.com, you will get a promo of well, I broke the box down, but it is the adorable Yeti Tykes. You will get this as part of a as a promotional gift while it lasts. Okay, so it's these little cuties. So that's for the D&D mini.com store that is going on right now. We also did just announce on Monday that we are opening up international for that store as well. Please stay tuned for more countries as we get them into the store system. So there are more internationals to come. I think that basically covers everything. Yeah, so I'm sure you have absolutely no interest whatsoever to take a closer look at a really awesome mini that's sizable and is like your absolute classic D&D monster. I have encountered this as a player, and it was absolutely memorable. So this is one of those miniatures that I am so excited to share with you, because it has that nostalgic aspect for me, and it's also one of those things where lots of people, I know this is a very near and dear, and a lot of people do react to this one. So I thought it would be fun to start ourselves out with, let me get it so the glare's on there, the purple worm. So this is being sold in its own separate box. Okay, I have put details in the description below if you want to get more information in terms of MSRP as well as SKU, with links to the relevant sources. But here is our friend in the box, this massive purple worm. It is gargantuan, and I think it'd be fun to start with this one so you can take a look and see the fantastic detail on this. So we have the overhead, which I'm going to show you the boxes, and then we're going to go, or the straight on, then we have the overhead where I'll show you in more detail what these look like. And again, any questions about these, please in the chat type in question. And ooh, I need to get my letter opener because I forgot to I got my sword ready. Or is this a dagger? Probably more dagger than sword. Oh God, YouTube, please don't. This is a D&D reference, okay? Be nice, YouTube. So let me go in and I am just going to cut free the tape on the flap. And I'm gonna pop this open. So you can see there's this gorgeous artwork. Look at that. The artwork itself, I'm just absolutely in love with it. And yes, I wore my purple shirt to match the purple worm. That's how much I'm geeking out over this miniature, all right? And I'm not at all plotting an encounter for a one-shot that I might be running. We shall see. All right, so let me slide this out. It does come in a plastic blister. In the box itself is you have the artwork on the one side, a little bit more detail on the back, and it does show you the complementing brick and boosters for Fangs and Talons. And it's the same artwork on the other side. Now, this is what it'll look like when you take it out. You have a cardboard casing with the blister on the front to protect. And the artwork is basically for the inside of the box. Again, this is something I think I might say for diorama purposes for mini display. But you get the whole burrowing, tunneling underneath, which these things love to do. Don't forget if you manage to kill one, don't forget to check out what's inside of them because, you know, precious metals. Then I'm just going to pop off the clamshell. And hello. Bonus points if you get that reference. Look at this. Look. You guys and gals and everyone. Look at, seriously, folks, this is just, it's a good size mini. Hold on, I do have, here it is with a medium. I always keep her on hand, but that gives you a sense of scale. All right, gargantuan, medium. Very pretty. Let's take this to the overhead so you can see this in some good details. And good morning, RJ. Thank you for joining. And hello, Justin. All right, here we go. Overhead, whee, a little trip. And let's take a closer look at this fellow. Now, like I said, this is a very classic monster that everyone gets very excited about when it gets plunked on the table. And this is a sizable figure. The details on this are fantastic. First of all, look at the underside. You get all this groove detail on the underbelly, and it's brought out beautifully. And all of the spikes have the groove details in it, as well as different ridges, which you can see here. And even the skin, it has almost like a rhino hide-esque quality, because these things, you know, they're in the ground all the time. They have to have the tough hide to them. But you can see, you get this thick skin, almost armor-like effect with the different plates. And of course, I mean, we have to say it. It's a gaping maw. It's D&D. How do you not use gaping maw and not, or how do you not say gaping maw when it's D&D? But you can see its mouth. You have the outer teeth, and then inside, all of those other teeth going on right in there. And of course, you know, because we are thinking encounters, we are thinking combat. Yes, you can put a mini in there. So, you know, if you're the DM running this, and one of the players just so happens to get into biting distance, which is not hard to do, yeah, chomp, and someone is sitting in the mouth of the purple worm. And then you can see we have it, so it's emerging out of the ground, ready for attack. And let me start spinning this around so you kind of get the full 360 of this. This is sold separately, like I said, in its own little, well, not little box, in its own box, which quite frankly, if you wanted to keep it in the box for display purposes when not using, major thumbs up on that, especially because of all that gorgeous artwork on it. And it's $49.99 MSRP. But right now I'm just going to spin this around for you so you can get more of a look at everything happening. Toothy Maw. Oh, I like that. Toothy Maw. That's another good one. It is a heck of a mini, Ed. And it's got some weight to it, too. Remember how it was the Chartland Dragon? This one's got some heft, too. Quite frankly, you could put these all on display and you're set for home defense. I'm kidding. So you can see the stones even have these great textures going on here and then going into the dirt around. And these are on the clear plastic minis. Again, this is so that you can pop on top of your terrain and you can see, I like to put my hand underneath so you can see that difference. You can see the terrain playing through. So for those of you who are using terrain like, Warlock tiles or your own built terrain, whatever it is you're using, you can have that become an immersive part of your terrainscape. All right. So this is the purple worm. It's a beaut. It really is quite a memorable piece. And this is one of those things you're going to put it on the table and people will react to it because of its impressive qualities. I'm actually going to put that down because my arms are getting tired. But that's the purple worm. Now, what I have for the other parts, I don't have the brick of all the boosters. Don't forget, the boosters come in sets of 8 to make a brick. All right. So I don't have that with me. What I have is a preview set of some of the really cool figures that you'll find in this. I have also gone through and pulled together a list. I will let you know where these fall in terms of common, rare, and that type of thing, as well as their sizes. When we take a look at the preview set, remember that along with getting in a brick 8 boosters, in each booster you get 1 large/huge to 3 medium to small. I can put this in the description too if you're not familiar with the way our boosters work. Medium to small figures in tandem in each booster. All right. And then again, the brick gives you 8 boosters collected together. And all that information is in the description in terms of the various SKUs as well as the pricing. The pricing for the boosters is $16.99 and for the bricks is $135.92. All right, we'll get the QBCS qualities out of the way there. So here's one last look at this behemoth, gargantuan, technical gargantuan. And I know everyone talks about the bite, but oh my gosh, the stinger action on the tail, that can do some serious damage. Speaking from personal experience, when I had to encounter one with one of my PCs. But yeah, I am very much huge, literally huge fan of this one, because of just all the great qualities involved. So now what I'm going to show you is the preview set. Okay, so we're not going to go through and open up boxes here and there. Oh, and hello, Unmade Gaming. How are you this afternoon? So this is a big box. All right, so this is the preview box I'm going to show you. And again, these are like the feature miniatures that are in this box, and I'll explain where they fall in terms of everything else in classification. But I thought let's have some fun and take a look at each of these together so you can get a good sense of what you can anticipate in these blind booster bricks, however you would like to purchase. Let's put it that way. And same thing, this is pre-order again. You can go to your FLGS. FLGS not an option. Do remember though, a lot of FLGSs are offering things like curbside pickup, by appointment only purchasing. I've been hearing a lot of different varieties in terms of how they are handling things and being socially responsible in this day and age type of situation. So just because you think your FLGS might be closed, shoot them an email first and make sure that is the case, because more often than not, they are open and they are waiting for orders. So please reach out to them. If you do not have one available near you for whatever reason, then jump online. Again, you have dndmini.com, you have shop.whizkids.com, you can even check it out on Amazon. All pre-order, okay? All pre-order. There is one thing I'm going to show you later, which is exclusively FLGS, because it's a little reminder. We've already looked at it, but wanted to remind. Oxygen is good. Let's take a look at what's in the box. I'm so excited. I'm truly, if you love D&D, if you are passionate about the game like Hi Me Hi, there are some really, really incredible minis in this one. So let me get, I totally have a cheat sheet going because this helps. Hi. So I'm going to put this over here and I will flip back over to the overhead setup so that you can see these better. Hello, Gallant Goblin. Good morning. Let me just quickly show you the box with the blister lid off of it. So this is what I have to show you today. It's a good number of minis in here for the preview set. And this is something we're sending out to influencers and that type of thing. This is not something you'll find in stores. Where you'll find these is in the boosters and in the bricks for D&D Icons of the Realms, Fangs and Talons. There you go. So I'm going to start sharing these lovely things with you. So first up, we're going to take a look at, and this is something I've used as a DM. And oh my God, it is so, that whole life drain thing is really awesome. So let me flip to overhead. And here we have, first up, the Vampiric Mist. All right, now this is undead, chaotic evil. It's falling into the medium size, which, come here, honey. See, medium in size. And if you've seen the original artwork, you know that there's this crazy red veining effect in the artwork, which is captured here on the miniature. It's this translucent gray plastic with a cloud-like texture to it. And this is one of the ones that's going to fall into the uncommon. All right, breakdown for this is, I'm looking at my list right now. For common figures, it's 13, uncommon 11, rare figures 8, large uncommon 9, and large rare 4. That's the breakdown. And again, I can get this put into the description after I'm done with the stream. Kind of ran out of time this morning, so it'll get there. But this is the Vampiric Mist. You can see it has that little tail trailing off the back. And it is labeled on the bottom, Vampiric Mist. Now this one does have the black base on it. Some of them have the clear, some of them have the black. But you can see everything here, 22 out of 45. Okay, top count is 45 miniatures in this combination. So let me set this one here. And then I want to jump over to, now see, I personally am a fan of these. I have yet to use one. I have yet to, well, have I encountered one? I take that back. I may have actually played against one now that I'm thinking about it. I've played a lot of one-shots. But here we have the Banshee. And this is another one that falls into the uncommon. Medium, undead. Can we talk about the whale on this one? Someone I know used this with their party recently, and the whale was used. Not whale as in, you know, in the ocean, whale as in crying, because Banshees, they do that crying thing. But yeah. That was an interesting situation for that particular party. But this is the Banshee. Again, we have that transparent plastic in a gray tone. All of this fantastic texture. There we go. All this fantastic texture to the folds in the shroud, gown, however you want to describe, whatever your descriptors are going to be when you're setting the scene. Even in the hair flowing back. And you can see the eyes are painted, rimmed in red with white, and the open mouth and this arm that's just outstretched, reaching toward. Don't mess with these, okay? If you're playing against one of these, be careful. I'm telling you, that whale. That whale is serious, people. So that's the Banshee. Again, another fun one. Okay, now moving on to these two. I have actually painted the Nolzur's Marvelous miniature versions of these guys. So we have our Fire Elemental and our Air Elemental. And they are on the clear plastic bases. Okay, so these are both large miniatures, and they fall into the large uncommon category. But here you can see you have the fire detail of the elemental and the, you know, swirling tornado-y wind of the air, which is just a detail I've always enjoyed about this particular miniature, the movement in its pose and in its sculpt. But that's what they look like. I'm just giving them a quick spin around if you're not familiar with these. And again, the clear plastic bases. I am seeing some people saying they're having a hard time reading the clear plastic bases. If you're trying to read it dead on, sometimes the light will be reflecting up and against you. I have found it often helps to tilt it slightly at an angle down away from your eyes if you want to read the text a little bit more easily. That's something I did want to make sure I touched upon. As you can see here, I don't have it flat up towards me. I have it angled down, let's say 60-degree angle if you want to get technical, but you know what I mean. That'll give you a little bit of an easier read on this for those of you who are mentioning sometimes it's difficult to see the font on the plastic. I did want to make sure I addressed that for you. Let me just quickly jump over here. Okay, so I'm taking a look here at Jack Pine 89. It's not that each miniature is $16.99. You will get a box, and I'll explain this because I have some renders of these. In each booster, which is one of the smaller boxes, you're going to get 4 figures, and that box is $16.99. All right, these are not individually $16.99. No. All right, so let's just make sure that's clear in that one. Also, let me just jump back over. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. And again, if you have any questions, make sure you type question first and then your question so that my eyes can pick that one up faster. So these are the 2 elementals that you'll get. Really, really fantastic and helpful to have. Speaking as one who likes to druid every so often, it helps. It helps to have some elementals. So that's those two. And then we're gonna keep moving along. Okay, this one's fun. This is another elemental, but this is this one's endearing to me because of the details. You know, if you know me, I adore colors on my miniatures. I love bright, vivid colors. So here we have the Merid. All right, and again, this is another large uncommon. Clear plastic base. Tilt, you can see there's all of its information. Merid, 29 out of 45. But look at these fantastic little touches. This is where I get excited. And these are, I haven't personally experienced either running a game with one of these or encountering one, but the whole water jet feature, I always mentally get a picture of sort of like, you know, the fire hose type of situation, and to me it has some comic elements to it. So it's one of those things I'm like, you know, for a more lighthearted, funny-esque type of encounter, I might try using one of these guys, especially if I can do something where, you know, pull out the mini type of situation. But you can see there's all this fantastic detail, the coloring on the vest, the red trim on the vest, these fun things like a fish, goldfish, little gold, not a goldfish like, you know, in a bowl, but goldfish hanging off the belt. The belt has some engraving in it, and the jewel and the pouch slung around the shoulder. You even have the texture in the fins. And again, that lovely swirling detail for the lower portion of the body. Just a really, and the expression, I kind of picture him as like this doddering type of, I like different voices for my creatures and whatever. So we'll put that one over there. That's definitely a really, really fun one. Best way to get a full set. Best way to get a full set is to, usually 4 bricks is the rule of thumb. If you get 4 bricks, you have the strongest chance of getting a full set of all of these miniatures, is the best way to do it. Eric. So, and, oh, thank you very much, Gallant Goblin, for jumping in. You helped me out greatly with that one. So, verifying what the Gallant Goblin has shared, yes. Now here we have, these are always fun. This is the green. I say slaad, some say slaad. I'm gonna blame the Texan in me for the slaad. But these are fun ones. These are ones that I actually intentionally want to put to use for the whole shape changer factor. But anyways, that aside. So the green slaad, it's a large rare from this set. But again, there are details that just, like look here with the different skulls on the staff. I love those extra touches. You even have on the shoulder another skull placed as a bit of shoulder armor. Just the way the hand's extended. Don't get near these guys. No one will touch you. You also have the scaling detail in the armor as well as the folds in the fabric. It's so nicely done. This is almost one that I would try and keep coming back again and again for a little bit if possible, just for how cool it is. And again, you have the bag slung around, the leather details, the pouch, even a clasp. Really a great mini. Let me see here. And moving along to, oh, I have to take this guy out from under the blister. So that's what the crinkling is. So here we have, let me shift over here, a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Now, if anyone's played in Schultz, you know why. But I have fond memories of having encountered one, and it ate one of our dwarves, and we had to cut the belly open. But that's just my own experience. But yes, this fantastic Tyrannosaurus Rex. Again, details here on the bottom. You can see that's engraved into the clear plastic base. And this one is a huge uncommon. All right. But just look at all the texture going on here, which I really wanted to show off today. You have the texture of the hide, the scaliness, the thickness, the rough bumps and protrusions. Even the eye detail is fantastic. And I suppose, should we try and see if, can we put, I think you can, depending on the mini. Yeah, you can, depending on the mini, do another pop a PC in the mouth for that one for combat. That's the one side. Here's the other. I love how there's the neck, tendons and everything happening there. The musculature, the pose itself, even the details here. Got that going on. It really is. This is a fun one. I mean, and it's Eberron too, right? With the not dragons, with the dinosaurs. So it's a fun one to have in your collection for various purposes. You know, and just because dinos, why not? Some of these are similar to Roberto. Some of these are also similar to the Nolzur's Marvelous Miniatures, like I mentioned before. But these are pre-painted on clear bases. So that's the Tyrannosaurus. Now the Yuan-ti anathema, or anathema. Here we go. Look at this one. How crazy is this one? This is one I actually had to look up because I'm not familiar with this particular one. So it is a monstrosity, neutral evil, and it constricts and it has flurry of bites for attacks, which I thought was, well, yeah. So this is another cool one. Which again, when I saw it, I was like, let me look up that one. I haven't encountered this before. Not in my wanderings of the world of D&D. But still, you're getting scale detail throughout this band of yellow that wraps along the back, complements the underbelly of yellow as well. And this one is another huge uncommon, if you're looking for the breakdown on that. Oh, Michael. Well, you know what? Like I said, these are very much classics to D&D. So get it, keep it on hand. I'm sure you will find uses for many, many, many of these. So there's that one. Again, the clear plastic base. It's almost got like that, you know, come at me, bro, type of open arm pose. That's just how my brain's working. All right, so that's that one. And now, oh, this is one where if you haven't before, God, this one gives me the heebie-jeebies. Okay, so this is one. It's a troll, but it's a dire troll. If you haven't seen a dire troll before, so let's take a look. This is another one that is in the huge uncommon. Checking my list, checking it twice. This one's definitely been naughty, not nice. So dire trolls are rather curious giants because take a troll and amplify the darn thing, because what they do is they sort of, it taps in a little bit into cannibalism on their part, but they will take body parts and graft them onto their bodies and just start adding and morphing and creating these which are, you know, classic troll, kill with fire, and why am I blanking on the other thing? But you know, it's that type of thing where it's a pretty imposing baddie to encounter and to get into combat with. But you can see all of that background in terms of grafting different body parts like the faces and the arms and the legs and such onto the body of the original troll come into play with just this. Look at this, look at that, look at that. You have this face emerging out of the pec and the stitch work going on here. And just, holy moly. And I wanted you to see the eyes, because look at that eye work. I find that very impressive, quite frankly. And you got these heads that have been grafted on. And just the texture and the coloring of the skin, like it's gag-worthy in the best of ways. Look, here you have another face. I'm trying to get it in focus. There you have another face coming out. And look at those, the hands with the claws at the end. I love this detail. It's so close. It's pretty much, you know, the D&D artwork, which I think is fantastic. But I love the fact in the minis you get to see the back of it now. So here is the back of it. And again, more heads emerging, more arms emerging out. Just this sickly green coloration. It's just, It's one of those minis where I'm looking and I'm getting the heebie-jeebies, which is just chef kiss for me. If you're grossing me out, it's perfect. So this is the Dire Troll. And like I said before, this one is a huge uncommon. Leonardo, I cast Fireball. Yes. This is, if you have a party member who can cast Fireball, everyone take a big step back and let them do. But yeah, that's the Dire Troll, which is, that's one of my big thumbs up ones. So we have the Dire Troll and then the, oh, okay, I love this one. This one I love. This one I'm very excited about. This is the, I say Kirin, some say Kirin, depending. But here you have the Kirin. Again, it's another huge uncommon. Clear plastic base and also the clear pedestal. So we can get this fantastic pose of it rearing up in the air almost. As you can see, it's bouncing just on the edge of one hoof. But these things, I did get to interact with one in a game. It provided us a hero's feast, which was much needed, considering where we ended up in the very next scene. But this is one I thought was really neat looking as well. It has the gold metallic details going on. Also, it's almost like this amethyst-esque metallic happening here for down the throat and under the belly. And it just has this lovely wise expression, which with these particular creatures makes a lot of sense. But that's the Kirin, somewhere in there. I always find it interesting when people are pronouncing the different creatures to each other, and because so many of us are reading the books and maybe not necessarily have heard it out loud before. And yes, I know D&D Beyond has the pronunciation thing too, but old habits are very hard to break. And I want to show you the mane, that flowing mane, which is showing up a little bit better. That's the thing with white. White flares out quickly with studio lighting, but now you can see the details in the mane. And it even goes down the back. And again, more of this really intricate scale detail. That's another one of my favorite ones. I have such a fondness for minis. Can you tell? Surprise. Okay, so we have that one, and now we're gonna move on to a Tabaxi fighter. So this one is a rare in the set medium. And I may have to play oh wait, here we go. Okay, so here you have the Tabaxi fighter. And I can tell you this right now, my little guy is going to be thrilled because he plays a Tabaxi and he needs a Tabaxi mini. So this is going to work beautifully for him. But the padded aspects of the leather armor, trying to find the sweet spot, there we go. The folds in the pants, even the detail here, you can see along the tail, cheetah leopard-esque details for this particular Tabaxi. You have the shield, sword, gauntlets. It's really fantastic little touches here. And again, I'm one who likes to see color, so we're getting that pop of blue and red along with that tawny coat of the Tabaxi. So this is a rare one in medium. Manamana. Back to, oh, a Tridrone. Now this one I always, whenever I see any type of these style things, now this one got slightly bent. If you ever have a bent issue, all you need to, I could do it right now, but it is really loud. Just take a hairdryer or hot water and dip it in quickly, and you will find that the plastic has a memory, all right? So when it has been sitting in a box and it's been leaning against things, sometimes this can happen. But thanks to the memory in the plastic, if you put heat to it and then expose it to cold, I will do, sometimes a hairdryer, like I said, will be enough to get it straightened back out, and then I dip it into ice cold water, and the plastic will freeze back into place, right? So if you ever have something like this happen, that's the quick and easiest fix to it. This is speaking from experience as a mini painter. So just an FYI on that. But here we have the Tridrone, our little upside down pyramid friend. And these always remind me of the robot from Lost in Space, like, you know, danger, danger. I just think they're fun critters to incorporate into your game, if possible. That's the Tridrone, black base, and 35 out of 45 medium, and this one is also a rare. All right, for those of you wondering, that is your rare. I'm going to take a quick drink. of some seltzer water because my voice is starting to go. I don't know if you can hear that. Okay. Yes, I love Tabaxis. I was thrilled to see Tabaxi pop up. There's also Tabaxi that's out in the D&D Icons of the Realms premium painted. Wave 3 or 4. My mind is going zoom right now. But we did have one that just released recently, if you're looking for another Tabaxi, I believe. There are so many minis in my life right now, but keep that in mind for those of you who are Tabaxi fans. And then we're going to move on to, okay, the Incubus. Now, yes, Incubus are the counterpart to a Succubus, so they have very similar qualities and everything and such in terms of how you would use them, how they would interact with players, and everything that goes on there. The whole draining kiss, that is something they have. And this one is a rare medium. So here is the front, decked out in red and black. You can see the musculature of the torso, the leathery detail in the wings, black base. Again, we have lofted up on a clear, so it's, elevated, hovering. But that gives you a sense of this one. And just these extra touches here. Just that extra little detail on the back and even in the boots into the leggings. So that is your Incubus. Not to be confused with the band. But there you go for that one. I'm just looking over the stuff. Oh, thank you, Matthew. I'm glad you're finding these as fun as I do, because quite frankly, I'm telling you, this is probably one of the collections I'm going to be going gaga over for quite a while. And that's good to know, Ed, that they're having fun with the Modrons and the Tridrones and everything like that. Don't tell Blanche Devereaux. I love that we just got a Golden Girls reference in here. That's well done, H. Bradley. Well done. So that's the Incubus. And then, okay, I'm weird. I am a big fan of these particular grouping of creatures. To me, they are great to play around with. I also do have a love for anything Fae, if anyone ever has seen me DM or play. So we're looking at a green hag now. And again, this is another medium, and she is a rare, okay? Now, hags, to me, are such wonderfully... You can tweak them around a little bit in your campaign to have some fun with them. In the last AR, Baba Yaga, she sort of spun things a little bit, and I loved playing that out. But here we have the green hag with this long flowing white hair, robes with long bell sleeves to them, and she's got, I gotta take a closer look, she's got something in her hand. You could play it off as an apple if you want, but considering, I'm trying to get this to focus better, considering that in her other hand she has a basket of a skull and bones and some other entrails draping out of it, you can kind of guess what's in the hand there. But here we have the green hag, and they are so much fun to use in game. They really are, especially if you have them coming together in groups. Whether you have it as combat, whether you have it an encounter. I have negotiated with hags, I have fought hags, I have used hags to push forward a quest. They really are fantastic in game. I'm partial to them. Can you tell? So here's the green hag, and did I say she's a rare? A rare medium. And I'm looking over here. Yeah, a lot of these. She is holding a basket of innards. Innards and skulls and bones. A hag's gonna hag. It's just how do. So we're getting, okay. This one? All right. I have a feeling a lot of people are going to be excited to see this one, because when I opened it up, I screeched. We have a flail snail in this grouping, and here it is. And I just want you to appreciate all these little touches that have gone into this creation. First of all, you have a slime trail going on the clear plastic base, which is just ever so much fun. And you can see here, there's this pearlescent glow happening to the shell, which I find fantastic because it very much nods to the scintillating shell aspect that this has, and can put to use, and is fun, I will say. But here is the Flail snail. You can see how this line that's creeping up to the front here. And that's a mouth. And obviously, it's flails. Look at that. I'm very excited about this one. I've seen people in the past, they've done flail snails and everything and such in terms of making their own and what have you, because people do want these. So I'm thrilled to have such a gorgeous pre-painted one out there as an option. And this one is, let me go back to my list. It's a large rare. So keep that one in mind. But let me show you the top. And again, just that shimmer. Such a clever way to nod to one of its things. Really, really, I like it. Very much so. And again, you'll have all the information on the bottom here. Flail snail, and that one is 38 out of 45. Okay. Oh, voice, don't fail me now, please. And again, any further questions? Please, in the chat, type in question. I'll do my best to answer them for you. And now we're moving on to, I already showed you that one. The green slaad, that was the gas spore. I kind of went ahead and I grabbed a few that I was more excited about. Now we have the gas spore, which these are fun little creatures. Although it's not little. This one is a large rare, plant-based. Some people like to jokingly call it a plant beholder, which I can see because you have the eye in the center and, you know, the mushrooms growing on the top, almost like tentacles. But they're fun ones to include in your campaign as well. You can see you have all the textures in it. Little lines draping down. Again, clear plastic, so it's lifted up off the clear plastic base. The fun mushrooms on the top. And that eye all starting down. So this is the gas spore. And that is large rare, like I said before. And then we're going to move on. These come out to play a lot. And I was playing Baldur's Gate 3. I got Baldur's Gate 3 and I started playing a little bit the other day. And I saw this, and the first thing I saw, which if you've started playing Baldur's Gate, you'll understand why. I was like, ugh. But here is an Aboleth. Okay, so this Aboleth is another large rare in this grouping for Fangs and Talons. But you can see it's just got that lovely, sinewy, slimy, creepy... I'm petting it. I'm petting the Aboleth. But you get what I mean. It's got the various tentacles, the fins, the multiple layers of teeth. I'm trying to get into that sweet spot. You can see the various rows of teeth inside the mouth. And again, floating in the air on it's clear plastic base. Aboleth, 41 out of 45. And it's a large. So that is the Aboleth. I also love the color. Fading between this almost turquoisey blue into a very pale sea green. It looks really cool. I'm happy with it. But again, Baldur's Gate 3, just saying, reminds me of something else. Well, rightfully so, for reasons. And now we're moving on to... Oh, yes. I have to move my blister packet again. Because this one... Now, I want to show you this for that if you should get this in your booster or your brick, depending on what you get. You will be getting a blue dragon in this as one of the mix as well. And this is another large rare. But keep in mind that on the bottom you have, there's a couple points I want to point out here. On the bottom you have this circle that's going on. You're going to be seeing this more on our clear bases. These circles are there for a reason. This is to represent the fact that it is large even though it is sitting on a base that would be considered huge. And a lot of this is because of balance. Because yes, while this fellow right now is without its wings, that's the other point I wanted to bring up for you. When you put the wings on for the sake of balance, having a wider base gives it better stability. So when you go to use this in combat and it is on your table, you are using this inner frosted ring, I kind of like to call it, and that is your gauge as to how much space it takes up and everything of the such. So when you get this in the booster, because of the size of the boosters, we can't have it where the wings are fully attached. So all you will need to do, and if you want to make it permanent, you just need to get a little bit of super glue. I always recommend whenever you're using super glue on miniatures, please do not use super glue that has gel in the name. That is a very brittle connection. It is going to come apart after a while, and I have found that it does also cause discoloring in paint. So use a style of super glue, crazy glue, whatever you want to call it. Loctite, is it Loctite? Yeah. Whichever brand you prefer to use the classic glue. Do not use the gel. And then it's just going to be a matter of popping the wings into place, lock and key type of setup, and your wings will be put onto the miniature. But I wanted you to see so that if you should get this in your booster, it didn't come broken. It came like this so that it could be packaged up nice and tightly and everything like that. That is supposed to be that way. All right, so just a heads up there. But now that we have the wings on, you can appreciate the fantastic detail we have going on with our lovely young blue dragon. And you have the spines running down the back, talons at the end of the wings. Turn him around, you can see he's got this great pose. Not saying he's saying neener, 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 but you know, could be. You'll see the lightning breath shooting out just from the pose of it. But this is the young blue dragon. And again, this is a large rare. And definitely more dragons. I mean, dragons. It's in the name. Dungeons and Dragons. But this is another fun one. But yeah, just keep that in mind. I'm going to pop the wings back off because I am going to glue them back in. Just keep in mind, it is going to come like this. All you need is a little bit of glue. In fact, I keep it at my desk. I'm not even kidding. This is the glue I like to use the best. This is who I recommend. Pretty straightforward, basic, simple. But that's what I use for gluing my miniatures together. If there are parts that come apart, you can paint and then put back together. So that is the dragon. And we have just two more. This one I'm very excited about. This one is the Night Walker. And if any of you know me from previous rounds, I actually made one of these a long time ago because could not find a Night Walker miniature. Well, guess what? We now have, that's right, I need to get white background behind this fellow. We now have a Night Walker miniature. And holy moly, this face, just in time for Halloween, because holy creepy. This one is a huge, is it a huge? Yes, it's a huge rare. Just keep that in mind. But look at the face. Just the, ooh. I love like the stretching of the skin over into the mouth and over. It's just, these are some seriously creepy creatures to deal with. Undead. Oh yeah, that's right. The Finger of Doom. Like I wrote down quick little things about each of these. The Finger of Doom thing. Yeah. That's another fun aspect of these. If you haven't encountered or haven't used these before, and if you're planning some sort of like Halloween encounter in the future, again, because these don't come out until November 11th, but it really is a fantastic one to have on hand. I just love this sinewy detail. And then you have this, again, transparent blue flame effect going on, or magic effect. There you can see my hand playing from behind it. But yeah, this is the Night Walker. And again, that's a huge rare. Execute order. It's a gorgeous mini. It really is. Just everything going on here. And the horns even. Look at that. All this crazy detail in the horns. Texture-wise, paint-wise. Even the shape and the form of them. Really, really stellar. High quality. Absolutely. I would have no problem pulling this guy out of the box and onto the table it goes and not worrying about a thing. It's a gorgeous mini, which I know sounds weird for a Nightwalker, but hey. All right, and then, so last but not least, we have, this one is a fire, yeah, I might keep the white out just in case. This one is a fire giant skeleton, and I did go in and I did check my records. I don't have a stat sheet for this, and keep in mind, we don't provide the stats for any of these miniatures. We never really have done that, but you have your resources with your D&D books, as well as D&D Beyond. If you have an account with them, you can definitely look up all the stats on this. But here we have a huge rare fire giant skeleton, and it's wicked. Between the dinged up armor, the moldering fabric, the texture of the bones, and the sword. And look at the skull. This is the other thing I wanted to point out when I saw this. Look at the texture in the skull. Like there's just a little bit of that skin left and rotting. It's so cool. You have your eyes, spooky, creepy eyes, and again, I guess it's tendons, I would call it. But you have the flesh that's decaying around the mouth area. And the sheen of the metal of the armor. I like that the armor isn't pristine and perfect, and that it has the aged metal look to it because of the type of monster that you're dealing with right now. But I want you to see all these fantastic, like the nicks and the dings. Really an impressive creature. And again, it's clear base. You can see its name right there. Fire Giant Skeleton, 42 out of 45. And this is another huge rare. So that is the last one in the preview set that I have for the D&D Icons of the Realms, Fangs and Talons. And these again are available for pre-order now. Reach out to your local game store. I'm actually going to do a quick flip here because I want you to see the packaging too. So here we have, that's what a brick looks like. So that's the back of the brick. You can see all the information going on there in terms of all of the 45 figures, so on and so forth. Here are some stills of some of the ones I shared with you today already. And if you contact your FLGS and let them know you are interested in this, let them know if you want to get yourself a brick, if you want to get yourself some boosters. Again, the bricks are $135.92, she says, just double checking. Yes, $135.92. The boosters are $16.99. In a booster, you will get one large/huge miniature, and then you'll get 3 medium/small miniatures. So you get a combination of that. Pardon me, my voice is going. And then in a brick, you get 8 of those boosters. Okay? If you get 4 of those bricks, you then run the strongest chance of getting all of the miniatures that are involved in this collection. So I just want to make sure we had that clarified as to how that all works in terms of getting these pieces. The difference is Mr. Purple Worm here, or Ms., or them, this one is sold separately. All right, this is not coming in the booster as you're seeing right in the brick as you're seeing right now on screen. This comes in its own box, which I showed you when we started off. It is $49.99 on a clear base as well. Okay, beautiful box with gorgeous artwork inside, gorgeous artwork on the outside. Perfect display piece, or even if you want to use this, and well, I would hope you'd use it in combat too, but this is a sold separately figure. So if this is something where you want to get everything, then you need to contact your FLGS, say you want to get X, Y, and Z from Fangs and Talons. So that is just something to keep in mind when getting into it. Okay, it's 45, Joseph. Okay, there's 45 different figures in this particular set. And what I showed you, I made sure to mention, and I will get it into the description as well when I am done with our lovely stream this afternoon, so that you can go back in and you can see the SKU number, the MSRP, and again, there are relevant links for those of you who do not have an FLGS nearby that you can make use of. But again, I encourage you, contact your FLGS if there is one, see if they are open, see what they are doing in terms of everything that's happening. And if that's not an option, then again, you can go on to dndmini.com and you can pre-order these there. You can also go to shop.whizkids.com and pre-order there. You can check it out on Amazon as well. I think that's covered pretty much all the online things. And what I also wanted to show you today before we wrap things up, and this is something exclusively for FLGS, and I wanted to remind people that this is something that is going on. And that is the Ogre Zombie Paint Night kit. Now, Gallant Goblin, if you are still in the chat, they just did, because they worked together on this, a fantastic video on this one with a lot more details, but this is happening now at participating US FLGS. Okay, so you want to contact them, find out, and see what they are offering. Many are offering the option where you can go and pick this up and bring it home and do the tutorial from home if you so choose. Others are large enough where they're able to still hold social distancing safe paint nights at the store as well. But again, this is happening through November. So if you want to look into this, then please, by all means, you can go to whizkids.com, go into the events section. You can find all the information about our Ogre Zombie Paint Night that is happening now. But please keep in mind, this is specific to US only, at participating stores, in store only as well. So I wanted to give you a quick reminder of that happening and of that going on. How many did you see today is the question. So we have, we can do this. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19 in the preview set, and then we had the purple worm, which is its own separate entity. So that's how many of my beautiful minis that you saw today. But yeah, so keep that in mind about the Ogre Zombie Paint Night. It's in store only. It is still happening. It is going through November. So if you do not have a local store, how you can get one right now is local game store. It is something we're keeping exclusively for local stores at this moment because we really want to make sure that they have something cool to offer their customers as well. I'm just doing a quick rundown. Okay, yes. So looks like I'm all caught up in the chat. Sorry about that. It's, reading and talking at the same time. Sometimes I'll read anyways. So that is pretty much it for today. And I am so glad you all got to join me to check these out. Like I said, this is a set that I'm extremely excited for, especially as a DM, because of how many of these are just fantastic bits you can plug into your campaign and just make some really cool encounters out of for combat purposes or even for, RP purposes, because I'm thinking of the Hag and a couple of the other ones you can play around with. It doesn't necessarily have to be hack and slash. So that is it for today. As always, if you have any questions, please, by all means, find us over on social media. I have the links in the description below. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, as well as on Facebook, too. And if you joined me after that whole opening spiel, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is right down there-ish. You just click on that, and then you can also ring the bell so that when we go live with things like Mini Mayhem, you can join us live. Don't forget, we also have Much Ado About Gaming, which is for our board game line. You can check out that every Tuesday at noon as well here on YouTube. And it'll also let you know when we've uploaded videos, especially those from Scott Porter, where we're exploring our Hero Clicks lines. And I think that is pretty much the rundown of things. Ron Davis, you got that last question is, what has happened to allow them to make the paint jobs much better? Because we're cognizant of it and we're trying to produce a better product for you. That's why. So that truly is everything. For next week, we're going to have a nice little Pathfinder themed stream, and in fact we're gonna make it a paint along. What I thought would be fun to do is do some Pathfinder paint along for the Pathfinder Battle Deep Cuts Headless Horseman. That is the one from Wave 12. So if you are interested in joining me, I'm going to work on getting this all together this afternoon and start sharing the information as well. I'm going to provide a list of paints from Vallejo as well as the generic paint color terms so that if you don't have Vallejo paints, you can still use paints that you have at home. But I thought it would be fun to kind of steer into the spooky Halloween that we're starting to get into towards the end of October, and we will paint ourselves a Headless Horseman from our Pathfinder Battles Deep Cuts. All right. That is truly it. That is truly everything. I'm going to wrap this up the way I do every single week. Be good to yourselves and be good to each other. And I'll see you next week for the paint along. Until then, take care, everyone. Bye.